All right, we've all heard of extreme sports. What about extreme vacations?
Travel expert Casey Wall is back with some great ideas if you're feeling adventurous. Casey, good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
How adventurous?
Well, you know, we have all different levels of adrenaline junkies. So we have something for everybody. But we're going to start going to New Zealand and doing bungee jumping. This is where it all started, in Queenstown. All the whole bungee jumping phase. So we've got the highest point in the southern hemisphere. We also have the highest cliff in the world.
Look at that.
So yeah, look at that bridge. And really, there's different dives. You can see, obviously, all ages do this.
That's a 75-year-old grandma.
75-year-old grandmother.
Okay, you know what? Hats off to her.
Yes.
I would never do it.
Me neither.
Oh, that's her again.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think it sounds good, but when I got up there, I wouldn't do it. But
No, I'd have to be pushed, and I wouldn't appreciate it.
Oh,
so anyway, I mean, we're talking about from hundreds of feet up in the air jumping. So if you're an adrenaline junkie, this is for you. But they also have skydiving. So whatever you want to do, whatever your rush is, you can find it in New Zealand.
Well, how about fire dancing in Costa Rica?
Fire dancing. Now, this is actually in Montezuma, Costa Rica. And they actually have instructors who are from Cirque du Soleil who teach you. And you can start with or without the fire, whatever your level, again, is.
Just dancing.
Right, just dancing.
Yes.
But you actually get to perform for 100 people. They do a weekly show every Thursday. So, yeah. But
now, does it burn your tootsies?
They did say, I mean, you will get burned. It's not going to be anything major, you know, because there's safety precautions. But if you're going to play with fire, prepared to get burned.
Well,
right?
I mean, when you're standing on fire, dancing on fire, you're going to, I mean, how could you only get burned a little?
Well, I think you're like swinging it, and you're doing all
They
this
didn't
stuff.
say you're dancing in the fire.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Fire dancing. So you probably have things that are in your hands.
Oh, I thought you were like walking over hot coals and dancing.
That may be
That's
part of
fire
it.
walking.
Oh, there
yeah,
you
that's
Different.
So.
Okay, so aside from dancing, you can also go surfing?
Yes,
Yoga?
surfing, other fun things to do, kayaking, other type adrenaline stuff. So if you're not into the dancing with the fire, you can do some more moderate activities.
I'm just going to go dancing.
It's a beautiful country, too.
It is really
There's
pretty.
A lot. Surfing is amazing, as you mentioned.
Look at that waterfall.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Lovely. Let's go zip lining, because this is something I can do. And
Right.
you too, right?
I've done it, actually.
Right.
In where did I do it? In Utah.
Yeah.
It was,
Pretty
I did it in
manageable,
Utah
right?
as well.
Did you?
Did you do it at the Olympic Park?
I did.
Me too. We should talk
Were we
about
there the same day? Were you there the same day?
Probably.
Well, in the New York Catskills, this is the longest, highest, and fastest zip line in North America.
Okay, we haven't done
Second
that.
in the world.
Oh, look.
Yeah, so that's where you are. You're really high up in the air, 600 feet above ground for 5 miles. And you're actually going at 50 miles per hour. And to give you an idea, that's twice as fast as Usain Bolt, the Olympic runner. So you're really booking it when you're up there.
That must be a rush.
Yeah, that would be really, and very picturesque when you're up in the mountains and doing all that.
Even when you're going that fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's all a blur.
It is kind of a blur, right? now, bullfighting in Portugal, not for the faint of heart.
Right.
But tell us they don't harm the bulls.
They don't, and this is why I picked this, because they're bullfighting in Spain, which is okay for some people. I'm not really into the killing of the bulls.
No.
But in Portugal, they don't actually kill the bull. What they do is the bull is on a rope and it runs through town, and so the courageous people, depending on your level again, can come up and get near the bull, run with the bull, pet the bull, whatever you want to do. And then the bull actually faces off with a horse.
I don't know if I'd be petting that bull.
Yeah, he's petting you.
It doesn't look like he wants to be pet right now.
But this is actually in Portugal. It's on Terceira Island, which is part of the Azores, which is actually only 4 hours from New England. It's actually the closest point, to the U.S. So really a fun thing to do. They do it every week. So
every week?
Every week.
Wow,
Yeah.
how about
you
that?
can go do that. Yeah.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
Or you can just watch from the streets like I would be.
I'm going to do the zip line first through the Catskills.
Yeah, there you go. And there's a lot of other things to do in
And
Portugal.
fire dancing.
Absolutely.
Beautiful,
Very,
beautiful
very pretty.
This is true.
Yes.
And really great people.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
Casey Wall, thank you very
Thanks
much.
for having me.
All
You
right,
can check out Casey's book, The Girls Getaway Guide. She's got a couple of them.
That's right. And we'll be right back.